it making a bunch of different weapons, and all the game is doing, I've never seen that before. That is so awesome. I love the fact this team is making new stuff. So click on randomize just a whole bunch there, Kendall, just so we can see a bunch of different weapons. So and all the game is doing right now is it's just basically rolling dice and putting different pieces together.
And how many combinations do we have now? Like over 1 million?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's some look, you can make just about any weapon you want to at this point. So I guess the best place to start is chassis, because once you change the chassis, it changes what a bunch of the slots are, because, well, fundamentally a bullet rifle is very different from the rocket launcher. So Kendall is going to pick something that grabs his eye here and just kind of whatever he decides he's going to do. Multi-launcher is always a fun choice. So now that he's picked multi-launcher, you can look around and you can see inside the projectile there's 5 different options, and that controls things like the payload, what happens when it hits something, what happens when you press the trigger again, is it timed, what happens when it explodes. There's a stock, there's a scope, there's a trigger, there's a magazine, and there's a barrel. All of those things, all of those are pieces that can be changed. He's going in, he's picked his beloved Tesla delivery system, and now it's propulsion. Lob would give you a grenade launcher type thing. Scuttle would give you something that crawls on the ground. What are you going for here, Kendall?
He is lob.
Lob?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's fundamentally setting himself up here, it looks like, for a Tesla sort of grenade launcher. So now he's got a bunch of other choices. Does he want to make it bouncy? Does he want to fill up the level with like bouncing grenade launcher pieces? Is it going to be sticky, which would be the option if you were going to do like an area denial sort of strategy? So you could lob a bunch of grenades into an area if they were sticky, and then you would want to pick a trigger logic that then lets you explode that either on detonation or on manual.
And this is great because now he shows manual detonation and then proximity detonation.
Well, it looks like he didn't go with sticky, though. He went with metal, which means that it's going to explode on contact, essentially. Well, it depends upon other options. God, it's hard to talk about this game like in isolation, because depending upon what you combine it with, you can make a completely different weapon. So let's see what else he's going to do here. He's considering how it detonates. So this is now the logic for when is the weapon going to explode. And he's done proximity. So now he's firing things with a metal casing that will explode on proximity. They lob out. They're full of electricity.
And this
when they explode...
Oh, no. When they explode, this is pretty much means that the proximity means that you don't have to get right on your enemy. You can just get near him. And then when you hit 6 cluster, the actual weapon separates into 6 smaller missiles.
Right.
And causes a big area of damage that can knock out a whole team, especially in that control point rush game.
He's picked flak. So I don't know, Kendall. You've picked this sort of weapon that I would make. This is sort of a huck and pray sort of a weapon that you've made here, because he's made it so that it's a grenade launcher. It's proximity. It's going to make flak, which means it's going to spread out over a big area.
Now he's put remote control.
And he's doing remote control. Okay, so he's going to control this through the sights of the weapon. Let's see what you got there. Go ahead, before you do any more of this stuff. Can we see it in the test arena real quick to see what you got?
We can't show that yet.
Can't show that yet? All right,
no.
Fair enough. Why don't I stop making random suggestions off the cuff and stick with the script?
We can show it in game though.
We can show it in game. Okay, that's sweet.
So,
all right, he's making charge shot. Let me go back to the trigger real quick there, and we'll see what you did there. So, you got charge shot. So that means that he's picked a trigger logic where he's holding down the trigger and he's loading more rockets into the barrel as he's holding it down. So if he holds it down, he'll get up to 3 rockets in the barrel, and then when he releases it, because he did a remote control scope, we'll see it through the remote control. What else have you picked? You got a standard stock, standard magazine. That also, you know what? Go to magazine. Yeah, you might want.
We can do the mini rockets.
I don't know. Nope. Kendall's saying no. He doesn't like that idea. And then how many rounds are on the barrel? He went with 3, which is sort of the stock option. You could increase that number.
And you show how you can name your gun right here too. This is the fun part where you get to name each weapon.
What is this called, Kendall?
He's thinking.
He's on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Mark's gun.
Mark's gun.
I got a gun named after me now. Sweet. Wait. Oh, okay. 1T. Good.
And the cool thing in the game is when a player kills you, you'll be able to find out what gun they used to actually kill you. I mean, this essentially is what it will say, like you were killed by
whatever name you've given your weapon. And also, like, if you have a particular weapon, you kind of stick with it. It's gaining stats. So we track individual weapon stats, of the weapon you made. So it's kind of like another character. And then if you do something awesome with a particular weapon, we're going to go and we're going to like publish that inside the game. Like other people will be able to see what your weapon is and how well it's done, and even like somebody might decide that they want to make something that counters it. If you're really
let's talk about this loadout screen real quick, because this is kind of show you what you can actually do as far as choosing your loadouts before you start battle.
Alright, so the loadout screen is going to let him decide what sets he wants. And each loadout is 2 weapons, what 2 weapons you have that you can switch between, what your equipment piece is, what character it is, and then what 4 taunts you're using. So that's a loadout. A loadout is character, taunts, weapon 1, weapon 2, and what piece of equipment you got. You can set up these loadouts however you like, and then that way inside of the game, after you die, you can switch loadouts. So if you've got if you've got a healer loadout, or if you just want to look differently in the middle of the game, or you want some different taunts, whatever you want to do, you can set that up in there inside the loadout screen.
Yeah.
So right now, I think he's going to set up a loadout that uses the new weapon he just made, the Hello Kitty.
So Hello Kitty is there, and obviously, your character will probably change as well as you customize your character. Right now, that's your standard customization right there. But for the most part, the game, we should state that this game is kind of a pre-alpha build right now, so things could obviously change.
Sure, I mean we're in the age of we're not putting this thing in a box and saying, haha, you bought it, that's it.
We're not doing that?
No, we're supporting this thing constantly for years and years. So we're going to be talking to our community. If something's broken, they're going to tell us fast, because they're going to be pissed and they're going to put stuff on the forum.
let's do some more.
And that's good. That's good, because that's going to make sure that the game is high quality all the time. And we're going to get suggestions. We're going to get all this feedback.
We got more questions here, which we should definitely answer. First, this is from Garlstein, probably more in tune for Kindle here, but he's known for being a great sniper. How will snipers work in Loadout?
Okay, so you can make the sniper rifle you like. Did you want to fire Tesla the way that Kendall was doing when we saw him there? Do you want to fire bullets? You want to fire, fireballs? Not only that, but there's already a piece that is called the headshot barrel that's going to increase head damage at the expense of body damage. So this game in weapon crafting is full of trade-offs, so that would be one of the pieces you might want if you were a headshot sniper. Kendall, did you get that important information? 193.
193. We're still kind of noobs in the streaming world right now. We're trying to figure all these logistics out, but I think we're doing okay.
Sure. Look, this is what game dev is like, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of messy. We make a bunch of plans, and then when we start doing it, we find out stuff is not working, which is actually why I like this whole idea of free-to-play and this downloadable game that we're constantly updating.
Yeah.
Is because when you make a box game, there's always something in there that's kind of messed up. You either have to patch it or you live with it or whatever. Here, every week, we're going to be able to come on in, and we're going to decide what we want to make better about the game, whether it's fixing something that isn't working quite right, or adding some cool new feature.
So we have a few more questions here. We have Loadboy95.
Okay.
Asks, how did the idea for Loadout come to fruition?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the central idea behind Loadout, I mean, the place where it started, where the team got excited, and that's always nice, is when you have a small team. There was a team that was doing the prototyping here, and they all decided there was this one idea that thought was super cool, which is, what if you had a weapon and you could make your own weapon? Like, you could get inside there and piece by piece put different pieces together and make any weapon you wanted. So then at that point it was, okay, can we make that work? Is there a way to make it a good system that actually works, or is that just going to be so chaotic that it's a big fat mess? So that kind of became their mission. Not only that, but the art director's like, I've got a good vision for this. I'm working with the concept artist. We got this awesome vision for this chaotic, like, Warner Brothers meets Itchy and Scratchy meets everything explodes, everybody dies, blood everywhere, but not in a gory way, in a like everybody
comedic
laughs.
Violence.
Comedic violence,
yes,
exactly.
That's what we're going for.
So they started working on that look while they were working on the weapon crafting and how can we make pieces together. And then at that point, it's make a player package that feels really tight and works well, and does all this work go together and make a game. And sometimes you get to that point and you make your initial prototype and you play it and you go, yeah, we made a pile of garbage. We need a totally different idea. Yeah. In this case, it was like, wow, this is going to be hot. Like we need to put more people on this, develop it out, find more ideas. What are more ideas we can add to this thing?
Yeah.
Like what kind of game types, what kind of level design? Can we do character customization? Can we do, you know, what's all the stuff that we can do now?
Yeah.
And that's where the ball started rolling. But it all started with the idea of the look, this style to the game, and then add that to this notion of making your own weapons.
Yeah. And just to remind you guys, we are taking questions mainly via our Twitter. So tweet at Loadout any questions you have for me or Mark or Kendall over here with the hashtag weapons. And also be sure to sign up for our beta at www.loadout.com. We are really stoked to get you guys in this thing as soon as possible.
Yes.
So, and we're about to start a new game shortly here.
In the beta phase right now, we're dealing with the entire idea of the tech stuff that would get it so that anybody can join and you can host, and there's servers that keep track of the things that you own, and we can do matchmaking, we can do you know, servers that do games. That's the thing we're trying to expand right now, so it can handle more than just the limited number of people that are currently in the closed beta. So as the tech guys are being able to get more and more of that going, like as we feed them more and more pizza and late nights,
yeah,
because that's basically what fuels it, then they're telling us, hey, give us 100 more people, give us 1,000 more people, give us however many more people they need in order to find out where the system goes wrong next.
Yeah.
And at some point they get it all worked out and they're like, let everybody in. That let everybody in phase we think will happen sometime during the summer, but up until then, periodically we get asked, hey, give us this many more guys, and that's where we're going to be drawing the names from, is that beta sign-up sheet from www.loadout.com.
Yeah. We have another question here. This is from Chick One Pack. Hey, will the game have some kind of RPG level like leveling up system, or just some reward points for you to buy things with? Which actually is a good question. So
that's a great question.
Yeah.
So the way the game works, I guess the two ways to think about the RPG elements is that there's going to be levels and then there's going to be challenges. So as you're playing the game, as you do well, as you gain experience, you are leveling up, and everything you do inside the game, you'll see as Kendall plays the game, you'll see little numbers flash up, and these are like style points he's getting for doing cool things inside the game. So as you get style points inside a match, as you win matches, even if you lose matches, you're gaining experience, and your guy will level up. So every time you gain a level, we are going to reward you for that. There will be challenges. There'll be different daily challenges. There will be challenges that you can kind of unlock, you know, as a thing that you're going to go after. There'll be a variety of challenges thrown at you. Every time you complete a challenge, we're going to reward you. So what are the rewards going to be? Well, in some cases, we have that sort of programmed in because we know that we want you to have certain things by certain levels. Like if you haven't gotten a sniper barrel yet, we need to give that to you. And actually, that's a bad example because we give that to you up front. We give you a lot of stuff just from the get-go. But what we'll do is we're going to roll some dice and decide what thing you get so that everybody's things are different. And depending upon what level you achieved, depending upon what challenge you achieved, you might get a rare item or a very rare item, or you might get a common item. Oh. And so as you're playing this game, you're constantly, as you level up, as you do challenges, you're getting new things. And then you can go in and decide whether you want to incorporate that into some weapon or invent a new weapon or whatever you want to do with them.
Yeah. We have a few other questions here. Some of them are really, really good. Essentially, if this game gets big enough, will it go to console, Xbox, PSN for console lovers? And we get that a lot.
Yes. Man, the easy answer is, damn, I would love that. The thing is, though, we've got a certain number of people working on this game, and right now the thing that we all want more than anything is to get other people playing this game with us. Like, to be able to say to everybody, no matter who you are, even if you're not on our closed beta list, you can download the game right now and start playing with us. So that's the thing that's on our mind. Yes, we would love to be on consoles. It plays really well, actually, on consoles. We've done that internally. The game plays fantastic. So right now, though, our whole focus is how to get this thing working Steam PC so that a bunch of people can play this thing and start telling the world how awesome it is.
Yeah. We have Mr. Tkrunk over here who asks, how big will the maps be and how many game modes do you plan for launch? Another great question.
Yep, fantastic. Yep. So how big are the maps? This map right here is one of our smallest ones. This is definitely the smallest map. Yeah. This one plays really well, even only 3-on-3. It feels like it's very chaotic. The game you've been watching, where it's really been action-packed as you're watching Kendall run around, where basically something is always happening. This is a 4-on-4. I think at times it's been 3-on-3. So actually, this map's tight enough where if you have even small teams, it is just a buttload of fun. It doesn't feel empty or anything like that.